You're funny.
Okay, I'm going live on YouTube now. Hello, everybody. Um, Today we're going to learn how to paint peony. Okay, I'm going live on YouTube now. Hello, everybody. Um, Today, okay, the style we're going to do is called boneless. Bone means outline or line. In the traditional, we refers to the contour, the fine line of a gombi, or elaborated style. I have some handouts. 4 handouts are line work. I will say it's kind of outlined. I traced from the book. This book, this is an e-book because it's out of print. You cannot get this physical book anymore. So for your convenience, I traced it on the computer. So you can follow this as a template. I will show you how to use that later. But before that, we'll learn some concepts of different styles. It has to do with the materials also. So we're going to go through some of the materials we use. Okay. I don't need this yet. So the paper we're going to use for boneless or fine style without outline is called boneless. That's sized or unsized. And even for me, it's difficult to tell by just looking at it. But sometimes I can, because I've done, I have made friends with other paper. I just use my palette knife. You can tear your paper. Somebody use some water like this and just tear it to make a nice edge. Anyway, it's up to you. I just cut it with a regular knife. Okay. So we have 3 papers here: unsized, sized, semi-sized. Okay. On our website, we call it absorbent, which is unsized. Size means the Allen and the gelatin glue treatment. So unsized means raw, or sometimes called raw, or shen in Chinese. Shen xuan is raw xuan. Or mature xuan means cooked or mature, sized xuan. So there, and then something in between called semi-xuan. Semi could be, 30%, 70%, or 80%. Don't have it to be 50-50. Yeah. So everybody see my screen right now, right? Let me make it spotlight so you will not miss it. If you have question, then you can talk. Okay, let's do that. A nice spotlight. Post. Let me see. How do I do that? Oh, I'm spotlighted. Okay, that's good. So let's turn this. Okay, so for the purpose of testing the paper, I'm going to use sorry. I just use black felt, so use clean water, then you can see the effect. You just put side by side 3 papers. I think this is the sequence. Zoom in. Okay. And I just use water, clean water. And you can use any brush. So I just draw a line crossing this page. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Can you tell which one is sized? Which one is unsized? Which one is semi-sized? Anybody? Left,
Yep.
This is the number 1, number 2, number 3. No answer?
Number 3 is sized
Yeah, why?
because
the
the water on top, it's not absorbent.
It's not absorbent, right? If I turn this paper over, yeah, you can see that the water trace very clearly on the unsized paper and on semi-sized paper. If you use some ink or color, then you can see the color penetrates through semi-sized. Because this is maybe the difficult part because they look exactly the same. Because I used a different texture paper. It could be the same texture, but I just didn't have that in hand. This is a different kind of texture. So they could be different texture, but still have 3 categories in terms of absorbency. Even with the same texture, you could have this effect. So this one smears. This one does not smear that much. Basically, the stroke remains the same, and this one does not smear at all. So these 2 are good candidates for this kind of painting. Especially, if you like the for control, you use size. If you like a little spontaneity, you want to use semi-size, and you don't want to use the unsized one. That's for spontaneous painting. So it has a lot of unexpected, maybe nice effect, but you cannot really control. Okay, so that's why we have different paper for different style, and that corresponding to the 3 styles: spontaneous style, elaborated style, fine line style, or Gombe style. Let's use this one for the first painting maybe. However, I think it's good to start with another exercise because I think everybody needs to practice this. Although I did this for you already, but I want you to trace the line I did first with just the ink and a pointed brush, and we make another kind of painting in Chinese painting tradition. We call it 白描. 白描 means plan, a white drawing. 描 means drawing, but it's not like using pencil. this is electric, I mean, not electric, digital pencil. I use Photoshop pencil, okay? So this one is kind of a Western drawing, you may say, because the line has to do with the object. It has no, well, sort of like it's not standalone as a, we call it a fine line, or with a line quality of the calligraphy stroke. So if you use any liner, it would be good. You can use the basic detail brush, or we call this leaf vein brush, or small whistle brush. Small whistle brush in the basic 3 set. This is a 7-wolf 3-sheaf. It's a strange name, but just a combination of stiff and soft. And this is a red hair brush. There's another one called Gombe liner. I don't have in hand, but even another, like a happy dot could also do. Or this one is a combination liner. You can also use. But we need to use, let me just use the basic soft one. But you can use maybe a dark gray ink for the flowers. If you're going to use this as a contour drawing for painting later, for filling color, you need to vary the tones. But for Bai Miao, they just use uniform tones. I think you can just use black. But sometimes pure black is too sticky. So I dilute it a little bit to get a kind of 80% dark, maybe. So basically it's a black. It's a black ink. So when we paint Gombe, we need to start with a template, which is outlined. And with boneless painting, we do the same thing, but we don't start with the line. The line is created on its own. I will show you how. But we need to control the shape of the stroke still. When you copy this, I want to put the complete painting in front of you, like that, so you can see as if you're looking at a real flower. Okay, just consider that the color painting is a flower. We call this second nature. Somebody else flower painting is second nature, right? So when we draw, we need to think about the step later. What comes first. Usually what's in the front comes first. So in this case, I think, I just guess, I didn't see the artist did that, but you can start from this calyx. So there's 3 like a heart-shaped, little heart-shaped parts. It's called calyx. K-L-A-X, right?
No.
K-A-L-Y-X.
C.
C-A-L-Y-X. And there's another part called a sepal. I got this note, but still, I know I'm going to forget it. I just learned. Calyx is this whole part. Can you tell the difference between sepals and calyx? Anybody knowledgeable of the botanical anatomy, the flower anatomy? Anyway, for painting purpose, I need to vary the size of these 3 parts, 3 little hearts. I will make a note in my heart, in my mind, that this is the biggest one, is in the middle, and this is on the right side is a medium-sized one, and they should be a little smaller, maybe a smaller one. So I make a big, medium, and a large. So with any kind of a grouping, you want to make it one large, one small, one medium. So don't do do all the parts at the same size, right? This has to do with perspective, but it's a two-dimensional painting. We just worry about the size of the shape. Doesn't matter, but you have to put them reasonably. The large one is usually in the middle because it's in the front view, right? Anyway.
Which one are we doing?
So yeah, this is just to help you understand what you're going to do when you do direct, one stroke approach. So this is really how they learn Chinese brush painting. Because my teacher, when I started, my first lesson was Peony, actually about 40 some years ago. And he asked me to practice this outlined painting first. Okay, so the next one is the sepals. One of the sepal is a little like a willow tree, willow leaf, or not really like a. And then there's a vein, not right in the middle. It could be a a little either left or right. And then this stroke, it has. If you look at the original painting, there are two strokes on the left and the right of the vein. The vein was actually added later. So you can do left and the right, the contour, and then add the vein. But just make a note that when we do that, we can use two strokes. But with this one, it's on the right side. We only use one stroke. It's like half of the front view. The layer, and then the vein goes all the way from the stem to the leaf. And this one, so I'm drawing the shape of the stroke later. So pay attention to the shape. It's like a stroke guide I'm drawing for practice. So once you're familiar with this, just like calligraphy, when we learn calligraphy, we need to know the shape of the stroke. It's a dot or a slant or a bone shape, bone stroke, whatever. So you need to draw the contour of the stroke, and then you try to fill in one stroke. It's hard, but I'll tell you, you can cheat sometimes, but you have to know the shape to cheat. If you don't know the shape, you just know you cannot get the stroke shape as if you've done it in one shot, one stroke. So you need to know the shape first. That's why we do this. So after we do this, we're going to do the first, what we call the larger petals or outer petals. If you look at the real peony, its outer petal is much larger than the middle ones, right? If you have seen the real flowers in the spring, in May, usually early May. Okay, and some petals have this little lot of rough, rugged edge on the top. So in this style that we follow, we try to simplify that. So we're not really fussy with all the little things, and we just make basically in two stroke. I think we can use this one as example. This one on the left. This is how I do it. Start from the split usually they have right and left, right. You put a stop like a little nail head, And then you have to do it in a continuous, gradually lift. We call that the rat tail. So this stroke, if I do it on a, let me just use some. Okay. If I draw this in a straight line, it would be, it's like a nail. So this is called the nail head stroke. You start you start with a dot, and then you lift the brush gradually to form a nail, kind of nail head stroke. But in the case of the petal, it curved nail head, right? Curved nail head, something like that, or to the left. Okay. So what's wrong if you do this just, without the, if you just draw like that, that's wrong. We have another kind of stroke, which is the opposite of nail head, just to mention. That's called teardrop, which means it's like this. You start from sharp into the. We don't use that yet. Okay, we may use it somewhere. I don't know in this painting, but not here. So I'm gonna. You can see the pure ink tends to be too thick, so I stain it. Maybe 80% dark is fine. So I draw this side, and then notice the narrow. You don't have to draw this. I think there's another petal underneath it. So my little petals, but this basically has a narrow bottom or base. Okay, and here is the start of this side. And you can always start from left and then the right. And then I have some kind of we call this romantic wave or hooks. But you have to do it in a like a cursive style or something in one stroke. You cannot when you do the top of this little hooks, you need to do it like a continuously like that, and you cannot do this broken. You have to connect them nicely. You have to do this, okay, if you're going to do that. But it doesn't matter. This is just a template. We're not consider this a finished painting, okay? And you can change things later. This is just basically to tell you the stroke shape and precision, the composition. We're going to put this underneath the painting, underneath the paper when you do the actual painting. So this is just the practice. And you can draw pretty fast, just the layout. Because I already did this, I kind of remember. I made also some notes on the accidental effect, it's just like a little dark shapes there, but you don't have to. Just remember there are two basic we call sections or groups. One is the inside of the petal. It's on the back, and then the front and the back, the lower part. Look at my hand. My hand, my right hand represents the front, right? It's lighter, the outside petal. The inside petal is dark, and somehow it's like this, you see the bottom of the outer petals. That's what happens here. So just remember the inner part is darker, and the outer part, including here. So I just draw this line. Just give me some. And do I have to draw this butterfly? And maybe I just draw this butterfly. Just I don't have to trace all the details. You know, just like you make yourself a placement, control of composition. So I just draw antenna, maybe the wings. That's all I need. And I do have to draw this petals in between the sepals and the stem. So there's another little petal between the maybe it's a partial petal, behind. It's in the far side, so it's small. And then here is you outline this shape of the stem. And you know how thin it is. We don't want to make this stem very thick, because the style is this artist's style, Yewu's style. Everything is leaner than what is actually, but it has to be very bony. So you can see the. Okay, I see the stem was done first, but later it was covered with dark leaves. So I can you don't have to avoid the leaves. Just draw through this, because it's not a standalone, a finished painting. It's just a design for your reference later. So, but even now, how you interpret the painting will affect the final result. How you read the painting, the original or the sample painting in front of you, will affect your approach, your result. There's some secondary veins. I think maybe he decides not to do it later. So I see only a little hint there. So in this example, we only see the central vein. So but I do want to show you, if we do the secondary vein, what we call the axillary vein, right? That's a very common mistake. When you have a leaf, something peony leaves like this. Oh, by the way, have you seen a peony leaf in your life? Because if you didn't see that, I better show you something. Okay, the leaf is like this, with some pointed tip, and then the vein goes like this and then that, right? And then secondary vein or axillary vein goes towards the tip, like that. Okay, you can go sometimes outside the ink base in painting. It's but you cannot, don't do this. I see a lot of beginner students, does that. So this is the wrong direction. The correct direction is this. Besides the wrong curve, it's also too short. So it's not like that. It's the long, like the tip is here, right? And you can omit the tip, but you just do two, and then Yewu the artist always omit this front one, just put a little 2 dots suggestively. So yeah, that's the correct one. Let me show you some real leaves here. See, this is another plant called the 明日叶 in Chinese. I don't know it's a Japanese herb, tea. And you can eat everything, I think. It's a vegetable also. It has the same structure as the peony. It has three stems on three groups from the main stem, and then we call 9 tips or 9 leaflets. So three stems, each you can, near the top, it might just one. It might be just one or two. I think, yeah, this is probably the minimum. So you can have basically three. We don't count this 2. It just 1, 2, 3, and here we have 2, right? And then this 3 forms a group. But in painting, we don't have to do this. We see some more like this. So maybe just a half of this, But we definitely don't want to put, here's the flower, and then the leaves just form a wreath, around it. No, that's not the peony. The peony has a even longer stem than this one. It's twice or just triple of this line. It's much how to say, flatter than this. This one's already withered, but even the peony is stronger. It's more like thinner and stronger, I think, than this. But the shape is almost the same than like this plant. Okay, and then you can see the veins, almost the same like a peony. See these veins, right? Secondary veins. So it's long from here, towards this little tips. So you have, if you just do 3, it will be, towards the side tips, I call it, and then these little ones getting shorter and shorter. So they are not like a comb, right? Not the same length like this, right? So, but with this peony, this is called the grass peony. We have 2 kind of peony. One is the grass or the herbal peony. This is the herbal peony. This peony. So this peony has narrower leaves also. So we're going to do. I just draw. Sometimes we don't have to, because leaf is relatively freer. Especially this is semi-spontaneous. So, but you can see the grouping very clearly, right? Same kind of grouping. But if you, so from this, we know this artist, he has observed the nature, not just paint, from his own mind. Okay, I made a mistake here. Let me just correct that. Well, let me just do it this way, so I can change it, later. So you can see 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3, maybe 1, 2, or 3. You don't have to count. That's another thing. The structure of the nature. It gives you freedom, but definitely not. You're not bound by the by that. So as long as you give people the right feeling of it, the feeling of that real, you're fine. So I just kind of make notes of the stroke. That's the purpose of it. So I'm thinking, if I use 1 stroke, what shape I'm going to get. That's the most important part. Yeah. And just make notes of that. Take notes of that. Okay. And here is another difference between these 2 peonies. This is a tree peony on my left side. You can see the woody stem. It's called officially it's called perennials and annuals, right? Or woody. We have another word hard to pronounce. Let me try. Lignanius, right? Lignanius and herbals, whatever. We just call it woody and grass peony. So this, if you wanted to do the woody stem, we can do that. But I'll just keep this one the same as the artist did. So this is still grass stem, not woody stem. It's the same as the flower stem first. So
Henry,
yes.
this is Elise. Can you move your drawing to more to the left, because my picture and then the picture on the other on the other side, that's better. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, if you have any question, comments, please just ask, unmute yourself, and you will not bother others because I already spotlighted my videos, so you will not jump to others on your when you speak. That's good. Okay, so this is another. It's not the calyx, I think, but it could be a bud or something above the. It's beyond the frame, but don't stop at at the edge of the paper. So when we actually paint, we need to go right beyond the touch. You will go right, break the edge or the frame, and lead the viewer into infinity. So don't be afraid to. You can also trim it off, or frame when you frame it. So that's my first practice or exercise for you, to do this. And then now we have two copies, right? So I'll put one underneath my painting, and I'll do an actual boneless style painting after the master here. Okay. And the smooth side of the paper should be the front. Okay, the side to paint on, and you can see that against the light, or you can use your finger by touching. Just test. It's kind of hard to tell. If you make a mistake, that's okay. I think I changed the side. So I'm going to draw this painting. So now I have a kind of stroke guide, right? And if I cannot see that, this basically gives you the position, and then I still have to, you can look at the real flowers, but preferably you just look at another version of the line drawing, and then you can be more freer maybe in color application. Okay, I'm going to do the coloring now. Let me put my color book away, so I got more room here. Some the color for the petals are carmine and the rouge. Number 400 is rouge, and carmine number 390. Let's put the 390 first. Let me just put a little bit there, and maybe a little bit here. Just less rouge, unless you like rouge. Rouge is nice, cool pink. Carmine is a little too hot, so we mix them. You can also use other methods. You can put yellow. I got some yellow gamboj there, and you can use a little. I haven't tried this, but I want. You can use even a little bit umber to brown. 684 brown to mute the carmine. Oops, this is ink. Okay, this is a lesson. You don't want to use any ink in the brush for your petals. So make sure that the area is clean. Let me use my paper towel here to clean it. Oops. I got some left over. That's not good. Let me just clean it here. We got a fire and everything has some soot in it. We got lots of smoke yesterday. So it's about 10 miles away from us. Very scary, huh? Okay, so I use a little bit color and lots of water to water it down. This is the trick. You want to use very thin color to start with, very diluted color. Maybe I don't know how to describe it. You can just see by watching. But it will dry lighter, so it's about to make a pink. You just need to add a lot of water, and then you can add a little. We don't double load like the spontaneous style. We will add. Let's do this. We'll make a medium pink, and then we'll add either water or white Chinese white to make it lighter, or add rouge to make it darker. Okay, that's the plan. Let's see how it works. And you may need another. Let me just use a piece of absorbent paper. You can use tissue. It's a blotting paper, just in case you need to blot it. If you make if it's too much water or something, you can blot it. Okay, I'm going to try a different approach than I thought, because I noticed that there's some pink behind the or under the calyx. So I have to paint the petals first, and then we will do the calyx. But since we already have the design, doesn't matter, So I'm going to start with this main petal right here. You can start from the tip down. Depends on the gradation of the color. I think we can. This is how I see it. I think he started from the left, because the left is a little heavier than the right. I see, because you don't want to make it symmetrical. That's the principle. You want to make the left more color. So just use more color on the brush, a little bit more. Maybe I can even add a little bit of rouge, just tinning it to the brush tip. And I just make 1 and 2. Oh, this is semi-sized. You know what? It's a very difficult task to do on semi-sized paper. I have to use blotting paper a lot because it tends to bleed. How many people have unsized paper in this classroom? You can use a yes or no answer, maybe. Do you have sized paper?
I have sized paper, Henry. I have the unsized paper.
Size paper.
Size paper.
Oh, okay.
I have sized.
Okay.
Size.
Okay. Good.
Watercolor, whatever that is.
Watercolor paper is sized. Yeah. You can use a watercolor paper size. So yeah, let me just go ahead. You continue this, and then we try to solve the problem of smearing. So I think on the original painting, it is. Let me. I think I didn't put the original on the screen. This is the one I'm working on. Let's see.
Yeah.
This one is it's an album, so it's a size, maybe it's 80% sized at least. Yeah. So we're going to do I just covered the calyx with this pink. So and right now I don't worry about any shading or gradation. All I need to worry is the shape of the stroke. After this, I can adjust the adjust that, you know, for the shape. So, oh, here's I missed something. Maybe it doesn't matter. So on my left side, I tend to do it from outside in. On my right side, I tend to do it from inside out. You see, it's, you know, I don't make the brush this way or that way. I just keep it in the same slant position. Okay. Oh, it's weird. The ink kind of bleeds through also because this paper is semi-size, so it absorbs the ink from my template. But that's okay. It just creates some accidental effect, you know. So you can blot it after you right away, and then before it gets dry, and you can start to add a little water to light it, or in this case, we'll add a little Chinese white. I should have it ready on the palette to save time. So I just put it in here. Okay, let me. Oh, okay. My second brush is clean with only the white and water. Let me just put it here so you can see. And this is probably just maybe half white or less. Let me see how it works. And I want to make sure it's not too damp. So when I paint on it, it will smear. So I just drop. Yeah, I just drop in this second time. I charge the stroke without making additional strokes. You understand? So I don't change the shape of the original. I just put maybe a little darker. But you cannot keep charging because you see the smearing start to happen. But because the particle of the white is kind of sinking, so the water smears, but not the white. That's good. I'm not going to worry too much. If I blot it, it will take the paints away. So that's doesn't make sense. So I just charge the stroke with a little white. And so I'm testing the effect. It could be a little stronger, I think. Here we have a strong white on the original. See, I didn't blot him enough. Maybe. The blot is to give room for additional color. So I don't paint. I need to just dabbing on the just like a charging. Charging is it's not writing or painting. Create a additional stroke just to change the hue or the value of it. You charge it, yeah. And here we definitely need a lot of white, so it will change the value of this to almost white. And you can make a little blurry here on the original. It's kind of a soft edge, to use a Western watercolor term, soft edge. Yeah. I just charge it. You can, sometimes I just use my fingertip to squeeze. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. That's out of control. So use a pretty wetted brush, so it drip. It's kind of it's called Talashikomi, dripping, wet into wet, or dripping. So this is the brush is pretty wet, and it drips on the semi or dampened stroke, not completely dry or too wet. So this is how we get this boneless style. Ideally, it will form a dark line, but that has to do with some other factors, like the glue in the pens. I didn't prepare that, but the other day I used a little gelatin in my last class. Remember, that helps to create a stronger stain line outside. Yeah. So in this case, because it's a kind of soft edge, so I don't need to really create all that. But my drawing is doing something underneath it. That's nice. I got some dark line because this ink is not dry enough. I think it just it's not there. But anyway, it got some dark there. That's nice. I like this kind of effect. You cannot really duplicate. It just happens. Okay. Now next I'm going to do the dark part of the center or the inner part. Remember my hand, the outside and inside, right? And maybe we can add another semi inside semi. Maybe like that. That's the outside, and then we'll do the inside under it. I think here is another group. I'm looking at the original, so I may go outside because my paper is not really taped together, or you can use paper weight to hold it. Let's see. Where's my paper weight? I have large ones here, but this isn't huge, but it works. I think you can use paperweight to hold it. Okay, but it doesn't matter if you move a little bit. That's the so now you don't really see the color difference, but later on I'm going to charge with the rouge, so that will make it darker. So at this point I'm creating the shape. If you cannot do it in one stroke, you can cheat it just to fill in the stroke guide with multiple strokes. You can just do little by little, but just fill in the gap, like that. I see there are several combination brush stroke. So it's not done in one stroke. So you need to, when you don't keep working. when you add more, you need to blot, or you wait, because blotting is to save time, to save waiting time, and give room for the next step. So I start to charge it, but it might create some blurry, so it's out of the shape I want. So I may use both the white and the dark to charge the same petal, so it will create something, some shape I like. So if I just add, it doesn't contain the shape. Anyway, it's kind of tricky on this paper. It's not going to work. I know it's not going to work the way I expect. So let me just finish this quickly, then we'll do another one maybe. So this is the center. We want to use little darker color. I just paint it. So it's almost like a watercolor. Yeah, just think it's a watercolor. It can go very easily from here to watercolor painting, from boneless style Chinese painting to boneless. But you know, the main difference is we don't use the concept of lighting. So it's all we consider this is a profile or solid. It's just kind of like a shadow itself. It's a cast shadow itself on a white wall or something. So it's a profile. It's not a. We don't really think the shadow is realistic. But in the past, they don't paint the shadows. Yeah, they think it's elusive. I think maybe. If you paint the shadow on the person's face, the person will think it's a dirt, the emperor, I mean. So the emperor does not, you see the emperor's portraits in the art books, they don't have that kind of shadows at all. So I just kind of like that. Anyway, so this basically is not suitable for the same kind of technique to create that kind of so if you keep working on this, you'll get fuzzy lines, not the sharp cut lines. So this semi-sized paper may not work with this particular style, but we'll try with a different paper if we have time later. Okay, so I'm going to do the other parts of the painting. First of all, I use a little yellow and we should have some indigo. You can use a different palette. Okay, here we got indigo. Yeah, different cell. It would be good. The indigo is 495. Okay, and the yellow is Gamboge yellow 218.
Indigo.
Indigo and the yellow. Let me just put the yellow here. And then you mix them to get a green. We call it the transparent green. But this green is too cold, so we need to add amber to it. I got amber here.
Henry, what color of yellow was that?
Indigo, yellow, amber. Amber is 684. The brown one, and you can even add a little rouge to the tip. It's too dark. I mean, too wet, so it will smear there. So what we can do, let me try this one here. We do whatever we can. So this is my color change. This paper almost like the unsized paper. You can keep the gradation. Unsized paper, if you load with multiple colors, they might run into each other, not keep the color variations as you like. So I also have some mineral green here. I just want to add to this. This is the mineral green, which is where is it? 593. 593. It's a opaque green. You don't use it alone. It's a kind of chalky or pastelish color. If you use it alone, it would be too pale. So I use it with the transparent colors, vegetarian colors. Okay, and I just add a little more umber to this stroke. It's basically like a 写意 or spontaneous style, one stroke approach. You can have a suggestion of a bud there if you like, but I just honor the original, so maybe I just stop. I'm not sure if it's good to add the bud. Let's do that. Just suggestively add a bud. Something, and then you can add a little and sepal, something like that. Too many. No. All right, let's see if it's dry enough. If you paint on damp paper, you need to make sure that the ink is thick enough. And I happen to have some peach sap glue handy here on this palette. So this is a trick. You can control the bleeding by adding peach sap glue to the water, and then your stroke is not going to bleed too much. So let's try that. And I just add a little umber and then rouge without blend too much. So let's see what happens. I got glue in it, right? So what? It's damp, but I can control that. If you don't have this glue, you have to wait till it's completely dry, and it would be a little stiff to paint if it's too dry. So maybe 80% or 90% dry. It's time to do that with the thick paints, Okay, and then this one, a little bigger. This one, the middle one is largest, right? So we just want to make this larger. Okay, then a stroke like that, and continue crossing all the way, and continue with little leaves crossing this. It's good to cross to form a triangle shape here, and they're not the two leaflets here not coming from the same point. That's maybe important in the peony plant. So we need to follow that, and we can draw a little dark line. It's too wet. Let's do that later. You can see this lower, and then if you cannot do it in one stroke, you just do it in two strokes, maybe back and forth. One that way, one down, and you can leave absence of stroke if your idea is complete, you can leave absent of stroke. So you don't have to, you know, especially at the turning point, bending point like this. Okay, and then I'm going to do more. Let me see. This sepals, right? Sepals. Okay. See, the large ones is near the stem. So we do it in 2 strokes, maybe 1, 2, and just like a painting bamboo leaves kind of stroke. You press and lift, press and lift, press and lift. This is called teardrop. Remember I mentioned that? So nail head and teardrop, 2 kind of strokes, basically. Yeah. Where's the nail head? On this left side. You start from heavier to lift, you know. So that's another kind of stroke. You start heavier and then lift the brush to create a. This one should be in front. Maybe we do that after dry a little bit more. Okay, now I change color to blue gray with ink. Blue, you know, indigo with ink. I have some left over. That's okay. I just leave it. I don't have to wash the brush. So indigo basically muted with a little bit ink. Okay, dark ink. And you can leave the ink in the tip in the front of the brush and see how this one was done. You look at the original painting, you will see that tip, the dark tip. So I basically print with that brush with a little pouring action like that. See, that's the first stroke. And then I quickly combine another one and then extend it to the stem, leaf stem. And then I do another one, same thing. I may have a little tip just like that, and then press. So there's quickly 3 strokes, you know, like that. You can make up a little bit. And then my brush gets lighter. I do the far side. So this one goes inward, right? From usually my left side leaves goes inward. My right side maybe outward, maybe out, yeah, just like I keep pouring the brush, yeah. So this one, I can even push the brush a little bit and then go back and forth, you know, just because my brushes gets dry, I want to repeat that. That's okay, you know, like that. And I don't have the stem. The stem should be a similar color to this flower stalk. So I keep using the, actually, yeah, I should have do the stem because this color gets yellow. I have yellow in the bottom at the bottom of the brush. So that's okay. Let me just finish all the dark leaves. And then a little bit dark to the tip, but not too dark because I have dark on this side, so it will get lighter on the other side. I don't want to have all the leaves the same. Okay, this one, it has overlapping with the first group. It could be the side, you know, like remember the leaves here? By doing so I did this two here, and then I do this one on this side. Oops, too dark, but that's okay. It could be in the front, you know, just like that. And then I got dark already in the middle. That comes handy, like already have a vein stroke, you know, like a vein stroke. This is not very good because it has a parallel. So I have to correct it with another because I know the leaf could be, have more leaflets. So that helps me to solve problems, not creating problems, because I know the leaf is not just a single stroke. So that gives me freedom to adjust it. And then I just do some foreshortened leaves, maybe in here, hidden, and then I do a larger one on that side. I have to keep balance, equilibrium. The two sides should be balanced, so not too heavy on one side. So add a vein to here. I just use the same brush, but you can use a smaller brush called the leaf vein brush to add the veins. The brush gets dry. We got zero humidity here. Everything dries quickly. So just add veins there. You can enhance the vein. It's a center vein that don't have to be in the center, but you can put it, with some perspective. You can put, you can decide which one is in the front. Then you put one in the front and then back, something like that. You can redefine the relationships. And for this younger leaves, I will add some rouge. So I just wash. Maybe I should use a paper towel instead of wash too much. Just dry the brush and then clean the tip and maybe just touch a little bit rouge. I draw this center vein on this sepals and little leaflets here. All right. Okay. Now I have to add some more depth to the center, I think. So we just add a little pure rouge to the middle, the shady part of the flower. I wish it could form some line, but it didn't. Maybe we just fake it. No, it's not a good idea to draw any lines because it's a bonus painting, no lines. So I just add another layer of dark little petals, just in the center. So that creates some contrast with the outer petals, some depth, right? I do have the option to outline a little bit, just to fake a little bit. That's it, I think. Yeah, you can do very subtle outline, not strong line, just a little darker, just just add a little definition if you want, but not on or all around. That's it. So next I'm going to do the butterfly, and I'll use a dry brush to start with, and then I'll color it. I think you can also do the colors first. But the ink tends to bleed too much, so I'll just draw with the ink first, see what happens. Because this ink is overnight ink, it's good to have some binding back. Just use we have some glue here. Now I draw this butterfly. I start from the center, the head, like let me zoom in. Okay, I wish you can see. And there's this antenna, this legs on each side, maybe a little bit long ones. it depends on the room you have. You know, you can squeeze in some more or less. Just behind the petals, you don't really see them. Or then the major wing on this side and this side. This one is larger, so I draw this with dry brush. Dry brush is good to suggest details, you know, just to cheat the eye. I think there are a lot of details we don't have to really do. I really concentrate on the shape of the wing, not the pattern on the. But we do have some pattern we need to worry. So this is symmetrical. This is the dark, and there has some kind of round pattern, but it's distort, you know, with perspective. There should be something here, and more a little heavier there. And I see soft edge there, so I don't need to draw with ink to fill in the blank with the color should be fine. And just some kind of impression, a feel of the radiate pattern from some center here on the lower wing. But this is dry brush, and I use a small any brush, small brush. You don't have to wait it dry. You can just use a pure color. I think we got some amber here. So basically it's amber, maybe with a little yellow. Yeah. Okay, so let's do just one stroke. That's too light. Huh? Add some more. It's amber and yellow. The amber and the tip. Let's do this. Make sure this wing has strong bone here, although it's not outline. We need to make the color solid a little bit on the edge, and then soft lower than lower part, and some soft. You don't have to fill in all the blank. Just suggestively, and just suggest leave a lot of white, flying white. We call it flying white. With a quick stroke, you have some unpainted stroke in between the strokes. Okay, and so hard edge on the top, soft edge under it. All right. That's about it. This is foreshortened, so you don't need to elaborate that. Then finally, I'll use a white brush. I have the white in it already, and let's try it with a yellow to make it opaque white, a little more white. You use pure yellow. It covers also. You know, you don't need to add white, maybe just a pure yellow. And I just dot. Okay, the dot of the anthers, right? The pollen, I call it pollen dots before. I'm learning the special technical terms now. So stamen, and we don't really see the stamen here, especially on this small painting. We don't need, we just omit that. So there is it's more triangular, a little bit longer than rounded dots. It's not, you know, with some kind of corners. So try to make triangular shapes. I don't know how to make it, but maybe a longer dots would do. Just a longer pointed tip. Maybe use a smaller brush. A smaller brush needs to have you have to either large or small. You need to have a lot of color pens. Just let it like a drip, not a drip. Your brush barely touch the paper. The paint does. As soon as the paint touch the paper, you lift the brush. So it's not not much stroke. Just the build up beads, maybe some kind of like a build up. Yeah, that covers the dark underneath it. If it's too light, you have to repeat, and then it will be blurred maybe. But as long as the paint is thick, you should be able to control the bleeding. So you don't want any blurry, right? Just add. So they're more concentrated in the center, but it could be some in between other petals. I don't think here you should, but in this area, generally. Sometimes you see the pistil or the center in green, but we don't have to do that here. Okay, that's about it. I don't see any colors on the butterfly. We try to keep it simple. Just dark, black, white. White is left on the paper, not painted. The amber or brown. So that's it. So for this painting, I think there's a title, but I don't know what. Usually, the symbol of shaoyao or herbal peony symbolize farewell and missing kind of friends or loved ones, I think. Yeah, 相依之语. I don't know what this saying means, but it expresses some kind of memory of some moments, I think, with the flower. Maybe the farewell moments or something. 欲知此后春，相忆只有丰台芍药花. It's not a poem, it's just a record of the mood. So this is the last flower, maybe this late spring. It's a maybe lament of this passing of spring. Could be something like that kind of mood. Anyway, so we can just write. So just write the name of the flower, maybe. Okay, I will just write. I just pick a few words here. 相 means mutual, each other. 意 means memory. 有 means there is. 芍药 means herb. 芍 means just peony, I think. Peony, herbal peony. This is medicine or herb. 芍药 means herbal peony. So this is the name of this flower. And 相依 means remember each other. remember each other, there's a peony. Because when people even say goodbye, they use peony as the symbol to say goodbye. So when you see this flower, you remember the moment of farewell. That's kind of mood. It could be the spring, saying goodbye to the spring. Okay, then the year, and I need to say mimic. Yewu, the artist name. Yewu. And I can keep writing behind the leaves, or I can start another line here. Let me see which one works.
Henry, we can't see you right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that part. Yeah, I think the artist wrote on this side, maybe because I think this part is kind of empty. Do you think so? So I decided to write on the right side instead. I can put a seal on this corner, right? If I do that, I will keep this high. Maybe I'll put the seal here. So my name is here. My last name is the same, so it's kind of redundant here. So I just put my first name. Yeah, I'm very careful because this is part of the composition. I can write, across, behind, or above the leaves, or behind the leaves. I think it's maybe good to write behind the leaves. Let me just write my name there and my first name here. Okay. So it creates more dimension, depths. All right. Okay, I'm using a combination of two seals. So first the seal, let me see. It's kind of hard to plan this. It's a little bit, because I try to keep the connection of the line. So maybe I need two seals. Or even three sometimes. Okay. For those of you who do not have seal, don't worry, I can do it for you. I'm a seal engraving artist also. I can help you have a nice translation or into your name into Chinese, and show you how to sign. So I'll put a Li there. That's last name, and I put his first name lower bottom here, and it should be aligned. So the qi continues there. Okay, so that, and we can put another seal, kind of form a triangle, some kind of, you can put a large one or small one. I have a seal, it says Xiaohui painting seal. Just that, you know, authenticity, the proof for approval or authenticity mark. That's the seal of painting seal of Xiaohui, or Xiaohui's painting seal. My Chinese last name, first name, and the painting seal. That's this seal is done by a famous artist in Nanjing. He delivered a lecture on the seal engraving art in our university. I asked him to carve this for me before the event, but he suffered a heart attack and passed away that night. So this is his last seal, very treasurable. So that's my painting seal. Okay. Yeah, we have 1 hour. We can do another painting, or do you want to do some critique before we? Any questions? How you guys are doing?
Good.
Very good. Okay, so make sure you use sized paper, so you will not have the problem of smearing like here. I see a little white smeared, but you know, you can kind of try to manage it with blotting or waiting, or just manage the water somehow. And let me see if I have the size tape. I think so. This is okay. I think I have this. I just use my. Let me see. Try it with a corner and just drop a little water. Yeah, that's size. So you can just use a little drip of water, and if it doesn't expand, that's size. Okay. And I'll use another template to do the copy on the other side of this book. See, this is the tree peony, right? Do you want to do this one? Similar, very similar to the first one, or you want to do one of my own designs? Any request?
Do the tree one.
Do the tree one. Okay. Yeah. By the way, the other painting is on YouTube. I already did that. It's called Red Hot Peony. If you search that by me, you know, by Peony or something, you search that that keywords hot red peony, you can find it on YouTube.
Henry, it's Daisy. I used the Bilibili video to tint some paper, and it worked much better. The sizing seems intact. I haven't really done a finished flower on it, so I'm not sure how loading the colors is going to work, charging is going to work yet, but
okay. Oh, good. So you're doing untinted paper much better, huh?
I tried the second one. I'm just experimenting now to.
Okay, let me see if I can do that with tinting. But we have to wait it dry, huh?
Yeah, there's 2 coats. You have to dry the first coat, and then afterward you add the second coat, and it's going in one direction. I think that was your suggestion.
You use the tape, like the water tape?
I haven't done that yet, but I've got the tape now, and I've got the boards, and I'm ready to try.
Yeah, let me show you the other people. This is how we do it. If we do the wash, you can also, you know, I used the clean water on this one, and I showed the process on YouTube also earlier for the last lesson. It's dry now, right? So if you do the wash with the color, you might do the stretching and the tinting the same step, right? Yeah, I think that would be fun to try.
I think that's a good idea, because I'm noticing that my paint paper is quite ripply and
Yeah, I think if I do that, let's say we have 1 hour. Maybe we can use a hair dryer. It will be fast, right?
Yeah.
Let's try. Okay. So the first thing is I have to remove this. I think is that easier to just tear it off? No. Let me see. I haven't tried. I think it's easier to cut it off, but let me see if I got the cutter. Oops, it's okay. I think the knife has to be very sharp, and so it's not going to tear. Just like this. Maybe you hold the knife very low angle, so it's not going to grab anything. Just like that. This is the same procedure as you do wet mounting. Wet mounting, you need to stretch. So for Chinese painting, we stretch the painting usually after, especially for those unsized paper, we stretch it after the painting is done. But for Gongbi painting or this bonus painting, we'd better stretch it first. So this is more interesting. Huh? Okay. We still need to mount it. Let's see. Okay. So just like that, you take it off. Yeah. So it's pretty flat, but not enough. See, there's some wrinkles here. We still need to mount it, or you can mount it into a screw. I'll leave it until we decide later what to do with that. So you can do this one. I'm sorry, this is not this one. The one we're going to do. Okay, here we go. So this template should go under it, right? Like this. Okay. So we need to tint it, and then we tape it. Let me. We can use the water tape. I have to get my water tape. Let's wash it first. We have time to get that later. So I'm going to use some mixed color. So basically, you use yellow, amber, and indigo to get the tea color. You can use tea, overnight tea, oolong tea, right? Have you tried the oolong tea? To make it
I used coffee. It worked really well.
What is that?
Coffee also works really well.
What is coffee?
Coffee, like the drink, coffee, C-O-F-F.
Oh, coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. Yeah. Coffee is good. Yeah. Let's just make a coffee color here. So I mix yellow, blue, indigo, and you need to dilute it a lot. Just well, I can just use this red, whatever in it. Coffee is just a muddy color, right? Okay, just so you can use whatever color. Is maybe the dishwash, the you know the what dish the brush washer water to do it. So this is probably like a coffee for me.
I used instant coffee so I could make it a little bit darker and a little bit darker.
I think like Daisy said, you need to do 2 coating, but I tried to do it in 2 directions. Maybe just one horizontal, one vertical. I think. Yeah. And you can use a larger brush. Let me use a larger brush. You can use we have this kind of brush. Yeah, we have this one. I think this one is do. We call it the background brush. We have triplet brush. We have 3 versions of this brush. You can use. It takes a lot of water. See, you can use. You can do it in 1 stroke maybe. Yeah, that's just how easy it is. It's very light. You don't need much color. You just need to make it look like older, like an old paper, right? So very light. I would say very light. You just need to make it white later to stand out. So this is how much. And I can do another coating after the tape is on, maybe. It's not easy. You should not repeat too much. I think you need to do just one even side-by-side wash, just like you paint the wall or something. You cannot go back and forth too much. So just like that. This I just show you the process. It may not work, but I consider this just the water, just the water, a little bit dirty water. That's it. So I'm gonna get the water tape downstairs. I'll be right back.
Come on, Henry.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. So I have a bowl of half bowl of water, and I got this this tape called Craft mounting. What do you call this? Water activate mounting tape, maybe something like that. The keyword is water activate. Let me do this long side first. So we just soak this in the water like this. And the best part of this is the tape is friendly with water. Right? To make sure the glue does not drip on the painting surface. Stay away from that. And that's how it is. In the first demo, I tried to avoid wetting the front. Actually, that's a mistake because you want to keep it wet as the same, as the painting paper, so it will dry with the same stretch, kind of. So if I keep the paper dry on this side and just wet this is too difficult. And I just have a bath of, soak the whole thing in water. in water. Just soak it in water, both sides. Just activate the glued side and wet the back side as well. And then just put this on like that. You don't have to. Let me see if it's too narrow. Could be. Let's see. I think it could be like a ½ inch, but let's just see how strong this is. It could be too narrow. And then I just put the short side. I trust the humidity is 0%. So it might dry very fast. I will use hair dry.
Mm.
Look at the whole thing. I think hair dry may not work because it might dry unevenly, but for this small painting, you can use a fan or hair dryer. I have a fan, actually, it will help. Okay. Maybe I glued too little. Let's see how it works. It should cover more. Okay, now I'm going to use fan or hair dryer. Let me okay. Let me just put on the other table to dry, and then we'll do something else maybe. I'll show you some quick painting like spontaneous style, because some of you may just have this unsized paper. You can also try that. Yeah. So let me find here. Okay, while the paper is drying, I'm going to change this water first. Okay, let's do some painting with absorbent paper. I have this Confucius Shuan practice paper only, so I'm going to use this, and I'll do the same style like the other two templates we have. Actually, I did those on Japanese paper, which is also absorbent paper for practice. You can use Japanese paper as well. So we'll just. In this case, I cannot put the template behind because it will penetrate through. It will stick on the paper. It's not good. So I'll just use this as a reference because I drew this last night. I have fresh memory. It's good to draw the drawing first before you do this, so you're familiar with the structure. Just the process of get you into the mode, you know, the bonus painting mode. So the first thing I'm going to do is to got this painting. I'll just hold it here. You can see. So I use a little rouge, and you can use a little, not rouge. This is a carmine. Carmine is kind of like a magenta, you know, the primary. So it's too strong. So I got some other paints in it. I even got some brown neighboring here. I just mute it a little bit. So that gives me a kind of hot pink color. So I do this front first. So that's how smearing it is. That's okay. And just keep doing this. I have to remove it very fast. You see, I struggle with this paper. I have to do it fast. And then I concentrate on the other. See this I call this back and front, right? The back side of the petal. So this is the back side of the petal.
Which one are we doing?
Can you see? Can you see? See my stroke, right? Okay. That's the back side of the paper. You can do it later with the.
Can you put the sample up on the right, on the left-hand side?
Sure. Yeah, this is the painting I'm going to do. I just put this painting so it's you see what I'm doing. Okay, that's clear. That's even helpful to me myself. So I'm going to do this little turnover there, a little bit turn over there, and some more in the middle. That forms an area. We call it the center of the flower. That's it. You can add more there. And that's a triangular shape there, dark. And I have this little. That would be dark. I wish there was some light here. Maybe we just add it. Maybe it doesn't. We're not going to use too much. You can add a little bit there, but that's all the light we need. And then I'll cutting the shape on top of the petals with just carmine and the rouge, more rouge than carmine, mostly rouge. And you can even add some dark. I got ink here. Whoa, that's dark. To the center of the, in the center we need to see. This is how dark it is. Is that dark enough? Yes. So some ink. So I'm gonna do this. On this paper is really challenging. You can't, because I have the experience with the other painting I did, and I'm in the mood to release my energy. So when I don't know what to do, I just do Gongbi or Boneless style with the template. And then after an hour or two, then you have the energy to release, to do a freestyle. That's usually works. You know, sometimes you spend 2 hours to do something and it doesn't make good result, and then you spend 20 minutes to do another quick one. It turns out good. That's how it works in most time. Yeah. So just the dark against the light. So just like that. You know, I don't have to copy exactly the template. I just concentrate on the situation. If I see a nice shape, I keep it. I keep that. Yeah. And don't keep working, overworking. You know. So that's the center. Let's see, it's dark against light. Okay. It's too cold. Just got some. Actually, it will be lighter when we go to the outer side. But this area is still dark. Right? This area, the shady part. Right? And you know, I move the brush kind of sideways sometimes to get larger shape. Not just the print. If you just print with the brush, you get just, you know, like this shape always. But you can move the brush like horizontally like that, you know. So I got this way. So I got different shapes. See that? And then I can use the tip of the brush to get little areas. So you need to see my blending area. I got some glue to control the bleeding. Just my little trick secrets. That's a peach sap. So peach sap is used on raw paper mostly. Gelatin is on sized paper, and use, you know, with the paint, not yeah, just to dilute the paint with more, not like a peach sap. We use it more like water. It gets dry, and then you just go slow, and just, you see the negative painting here. I concentrate more on the paint, the light strokes next to it, not just the paint the top, but let's see, the bottom, the other side of the, to define this light shape. Okay, and this is too wet. Too wet. This is blurred too much. You need to wait sometime. Just wait. Okay. All right, I finished the. We just use to make it easier. I just use indigo and maybe a little yellow and the ink for the leaves. So just got indigo in the bottom, some ink. That's it. And you can use some dark ink to the tip to start with. The darkest leaf is right here in the front of the flower, like that. 3 strokes, and then 3 strokes, 2 strokes, 2 split maybe. And now getting lighter. So maybe template here. And you can have a side view like that, and you can make turnover leaves if you want. Use a combination of light and dark later. So I would put dark inside, and some more light. See, the gesture of the leaves is very important to indicate the movement, like as if they're in the wind, you know. So you can add some dark inside that indicates the front. And that's a side view stroke. And wait a little bit for the veins. Okay, and this side, I'll just do, let's see. You could do the dark first and then the light. And then just, depends on the color. See, this is light. I consider this is the turnover side of the leaf, and now I add some dark on the other side. Above it, you can have combination of just like that. Okay, now I feel very comfortable to do the sepals because the darkness and the dryness of the brush is suitable for that. So I can go slow and you can add more. Just according to the situation. Because my copy is too large. I think maybe we just do a straight line. Let me see. To sustain the weight, you can change the direction like this. I had a turn. I think I just keep it like that. Yeah, that works. Okay. And that's the leaflet. And this goes from here, below this. And then you can have some leaflets on the other side, maybe. Just the supporting, doesn't matter. Okay, now I add a little dark inside. That's the upper side of the leaf, maybe. And you can add veins. You can use the stiff brush, small brush. Just draw very thin lines with a dry brush. Even wet on wet, it will not create much bleeding. And even on the dark leaves, you want to move this up. You want to draw with even darker pure ink, so it will show. Sometimes it's a darker. When it's wet, you cannot really see what I'm doing, but if you lift it against the light, you will see this. And remember I mentioned that how to draw this vein. You point to the tip, but sometimes you can go break the line, break the rules, so it's kind of free there. But mostly, I would say it would be done like this, so it wraps around the leaf, not going away from the center, but pointing to the tip. Okay, and here is the turned over. You draw just suggestively, and you just draw one line for this sepals. They're not complete leaves. Okay, so I just want to add a little structure there, and I need to do the center. You don't have to actually. It's I think I just started with dark. You can just use the black with a little bit red, maybe. Oops, it's too dry. Just like that. It's a freestyle, just to increase the dark. But the main function for me is to make the dark, so it creates the contrast. Let me put this paper underneath it so you can see the true color of it. This is on the black, so you cannot really see the true color. And another thing with this paper is it keeps the stroke separated with the watermarks, which is good or bad, depends on how good your stroke is. It could be helpful if your stroke is very calligraphic. If you're not, anything you repeat, it will leave a mark. And 100 years from now, people can still tell, oh, you modified it. You didn't do it in one stroke. All right. And you can go back to enhance the color if you need. I just use this ink with red to add some more. But when it's not completely dry, you can still go back and add a little bit. Okay. Any questions? Let me see. Oh, this is a Confucius, not Confucians, Confucius, the Chinese philosopher, educator, grand master, we call it Confucius paper. Confucius, Confucius shrine. It's a Confucius roll. Confucius. We have the sheets also. Becomes 18 by 27. And also the loose sheets, small sheets. I think that's different. Maybe different, but this roll and the medium size is the same as this one. Okay, it's good practice paper. I have a friend who's professional. He tried all the papers and liked this one because it's very challenging, right? But it's not expensive, so it's good for students. For students to practice, yeah. Okay, any other questions?
And Henry?
Yeah.
So I just taped down the paper and I made a couple of petals. The white I've been using is like a Western watercolor, like a gouache type. It may be that white is too granular, but the effect I got was closer to what I wanted.
Oh, can you show? Let me see. Can you show something?
I'm gonna try. Can you see it?
Let me see. I cannot see.
No,
Change view. Let me see view gallery, and then.
Hold on. I'm gonna hold it up. It'll be easier.
Who Daisy, right? Let me. Can you
Daisy.
replace the spotlight? Okay, now we can see you. Oh, okay. So what are you talking about again? The color, the white color. Is it gouache?
Yeah. Is it too granular, or do you think like the effect? I'm sorry.
I think it looks fine to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I added more rouge at the tips to just enhance the edges.
Oh yeah, you need to make the transition a little smoother though. You can maybe blend it a little bit with a clean brush, dry clean brush.
Yes.
There's a line between the two. You want to make it more smooth. Yeah, the one on the bottom is good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe a dry brush, just blend a little bit between the two colors. Yeah. The two shades. Yeah. That will help. Yeah. Okay. So let me see if I can add a little. Because I got let me unspot you. Review, where's my spot? Okay. And I'm going to add a little, maybe just to break this area. I don't know if it helps. Just looks like too flat. Okay, that's it. Yeah, the rule of 写意 or spontaneous style is you cannot repeat, too much. So that's this is probably a little too challenged. This paper, I will use the double shrine for this. It's less smearing because the absorbency it's thicker, so it makes the smearing less less widely but more deeply. It takes more paints, so it gives you more time. The thinner it spreads more easier, sideways. So that's a note on that. You can use a single or double trend. Double trend one may be better. So let's see how it works. See, oops. Oh, it dries beautifully. I can paint on it now. That worked. The fan worked. It's almost dry. I don't see the tint, but don't worry about that. I just show you the process. You can use a darker color, but I bet it's not white, because this is white. This is not white. So if I use white, you should be able to tell it, right? So that's the function of a tint the paper. You don't want to maybe tone the paper too dark. Okay, I'm going to do this one, and I would do it a little bit different. I'll do the calyx first, because it's in the front of the most petals. So this is the way I do it. I'll use a neutral color, like a brown, gray. You can use a little brown, and yeah, I will make it green later. So I use brown and yellow, maybe. What's the color exactly? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think it has green and some vermilion in it, believe it or not. So let's just do it. This is almost like a freestyle painting. So instead of using amber is brown, I'll use vermilion. Vermilion can make some the red tint in the green much tender. So if you use brown, it will be a little. Do I have vermilion? Oh yeah, here. Okay, vermilion. You see it? Okay. Okay, you can see it, right? Maybe use this. Okay. You can see the vermilion here. Yeah. So I use this mixture. And if you want just do in one shot, maybe I just put a green inside of that. And I just add water to blend it a little more. So this is just the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little more than natural, maybe just because of the natural calyx, maybe just a 3. But you should see the other side. Yeah. Okay. So I just use the same color, draw a stem. There's a bump because it's on the auburn leaf, so you don't have to stop there. You just draw quickly, evenly there. That's my stem, and I just paint the nail head stroke on there, and then you just draw 2 parallel teardrop and nail head, maybe combine. Lift the brush, just like a painting bamboo, something like that. And here we have a very narrow one, two strokes, 1 long, 1 short. Always good combination. 1. Oh, it's almost. You can do very slowly on this paper, but with with drier brush, even with this wet brush, it's not going to bleed, and it's very nice. It's mounted stretch. But the key is before it gets dry, you need to. If if it looks good, you don't have to do this. Okay. If it's not, say if it's not green enough, I just add some green charge. Yeah. Let me just add a little green, yellow diluted, and you have to use because I don't want to paint. The charge brush has to be pretty loaded, fully loaded, so you can deliver the paint without painting actually, just dripping. See? Oh, that's, I want to show you, and then we zoom out to continue. Maybe you should just see this in microscope, under microscope. Oops. It's out of focus. Sorry. I cannot zoom in that much. Maybe that's enough, right? Oh, okay. So you see the dripping. I want to see this Zen moment. See, that pushes the umber to the side and form a fine line. Without outline, you have a natural outline. Isn't that cool? So, but you don't want to repeat the same thing. You create some variation, you know, so it could be just the water. Let me get a clean brush here. You can use either soft or combination brush for coloring like this. Okay, so they usually hold the brush in two brush in one hand like this. So you do the charge and then you blend it, kind of water to guide it, yeah, a little bit, something like that. Yeah, try not to paint. So you put a color and then just add water, and don't change the shape of the previous stroke. You'll have a nice feeling of calligraphy. Even you change the tone, but you don't really change the calligraphy of the stroke. Yeah, so that's the beauty of it. Clean the brush. I do the charge for the stem. So I want to use a little green on the stem. So just kind of dotting a little bit in the middle of the stem, and then just if it doesn't move, add some more water. And you might take some extra away because if that happens, you know, it's okay. Just dabbing. Okay, that's about it. That's how the artists get this water stain effect. Okay. And after it dries, you add the vermilion rouge, maybe the dark red. Okay, let's continue with this. So I would do the base. Basically, it's a warm yellow brown kind of color, and then we charge with the green to make it more like that. So this leaf that goes to the top. Okay, don't repeat. You may go, you know, outside the you may, you know, here I made it larger, but that's okay. And this one goes inward. Oh, that's a nice one. I like. Yeah, I like the big kind of nail head stroke. Kind of lift, press and lift. And then this one goes up like that. And you can have a little one there. And this one has a nail head attached to the stem here. So you start from here and then lift the brush gradually. And you start from here, maybe a little lower, I guess. Okay, let me see. Yeah, just a little bit. And then you do the strokes. See, he tends to do the strokes on the left side, just inward like that. And sometimes you see the opposite. So a little bit twisting to get the shape, rotating the brush. Okay, and try to make an elegant curve, not the straight line, not a triangle, not a rectangular, but kind of elegant, and like calligraphy. See this? That's the kind of elegant move. I have a flower. I videotaped the process of painting a live flower, a young. Unfortunately, it may not survive the dry weather here. Still alive now, but in spring it bloomed. For the first, when just came the first time, and it doesn't have the leaves, but it bloomed with just this much leaf, and you can watch that on YouTube if we have time. I'll show you later. So you don't have to paint a lot of leaves like we did earlier. It doesn't have to any bloom. So I charge the leaf again with the green here, the mineral green border. And you can add some yellow and some indigo if you want to make it greener. Just a little. Okay, now more water. Just make sure it charge the stroke without the shape. And I always tend to paint it, and that's wrong. You just keep dotting around maybe the side of the stroke, and then you add water to blend it. Just add water, same motion, just dot water, and it will create a dark edge, stain edge. Yeah, I already see that. Yeah, just try to get that outline without effort. That's the goal of this process. Just with water and the proper control of a stroke. Okay, so I got some edges there, right? It's very delicate color, so it's not strong color. You see, I tend to paint also. Just dab, and just get some water. So the second layer does not have stroke traces. It's only the. I see some noise. Let me just mute yourself. So you can unmute if you want to talk. Okay. So this is my stem. I'm going to do the petals now. If you want to stop and watch, you can do that. Okay. I'm going to use two brushes. One is the brush with the yellow, white. You can have some green if you like, just not pure white, maybe just a little yellow, green, white, a lot of water. And one brush, just this rouge or carmine. Okay. Let's see if I can just start from the center. Last time I started from the light. This time I feel like I can start just directly from the center. Let me enlarge this flower so you can see what we're doing here. So it looks dark, but not really, right? Okay, let's try that. We just start from a medium grade. So his brush probably very narrow and very small. Okay, I'm going to just follow the guide of the. You can do it in one by one. So the key is, if this brush is too wet, you cannot add anything to it because it's already full. So you have to get like a half. Then you connect that to get the other half. How we do that? I think blotting is an easy way to solve this. Another thing is you use dry brush when I have to keep loading and loading constantly. So let me just use the blotting method. It's wet. Okay, this paper does not smear. Even you don't blot it, it will not. This is the Confucius paper I use as a blotting paper. It will take all the color away. But again, you can charge it. The second time I charge it with the pink. You can also do it half and half, like just the half with dark, and then the top part with a clean brush, but it will pour the color naturally, towards it's dry, right? That could be work. That could work. Maybe the easiest is just forget about two brushes. Just do in 2 strokes, 2 steps. So you just do it like that. I try to keep the idea, like the main contrast between the two elements, the inner petals and the outer petals. So don't really worry about details of each individual flower petals. And so just, yeah, to drip it, you must create some room, I think. You cannot drip on the 4 stroke, like a 4 water stroke. You have to do it with a half weight. Blotting maybe not work for beginners because it's kind of hard to control, I think. Okay, I just put dark in the central area, just and then just drip light along the on the top side, on the upper side. Let's do it the large ones. Okay, so this is the large one. He did this in 2 strokes, I think. So you can see clearly the division of the stroke there. And here is 1 stroke. And the second stroke might be like that. So it's 1 with clear edge, hard edge, 1 is soft edge. On this side, obviously it's a soft edge. So I use the bottom of the brush. And my tip is on this side, inside the calyx. So that's how it is. Okay. remove it here. See how pale it is. So we're going to use. So this is pretty dry, so I don't need to blot. Just use a dry brush, and then I use a little bit. See, there's a very pale yellow green in it. All right, that's charged. That's charged. Let's just do that right now. See that's how tender it is. That's how tender it is. That charge. Yeah. Again, I don't paint. I just charge. So just charge the middle, and then it will run to the side. Push the pink to the side to form a nice contour. Oops. Do it again. So if not work, you can always blot it. Okay, on this paper, you can, nothing is committed until you leave it, until it dries, yeah. Before it dries, you can blot it to redo it. But if something good, you will lose it. That's something dilemma. Yeah, you can change it, but don't change something good. Yeah. Okay. And just, oops, I got some dirt there. This is pretty tender. I don't see any black in it, so I don't want to use any ink. So I try to define this top with dark. This is white part, and then you can add white here and here. So it goes to Daisy. I think, yeah, if you want to remove that, you have to do the whole thing. With you can use different pens. So the dark on the bottom, so they're in the same wetness. So it's not going to.
The granular nature.
Does it work? Yeah.
It was good. And now
Okay.
I have to continue it and see how it finishes.
Okay, great. So yeah, just keep it light. That's one important thing. Yeah. Okay, now I work on this. This page has this petal has a small back petals here. I didn't do. So I just add some details there. Okay, some water stain may be not good. We call it flowering in watercolor, but it's okay in this kind of painting. We like that flowering effect. You see a lot of the flowering there, right? Yeah. So something just different aesthetic, I think. Okay, now I do this one. A stroke for the shape. Then I worry about the hue. You see, I see clearly two strokes. One is like that. So the tip of the brush is inside, and then I see a lift, maybe like that. So something like that. You can make up. And there's a stroke in between these two. There. That's it. Yeah. And you can charge color instead of if needed, But this is outside. The contrast is not strong enough, so I need to lighter this part. Maybe I forgot the principle. The principle is light and against the dark, right? So I just make this as a light again. Okay. Some dark is fine. Yeah, basically, you can vary between dark and light, but they are all lighter than the dark side of the petals. So That's about it. And you can use a smaller brush. Sometimes the big brush is not easy to get really dark. So maybe a smaller brush with pure color. Let's do it again. Or just draw, maybe. You could draw, I think. You can just draw some lines. Fake a little bit. But I really don't see the darkest dark, like a very dark pure color or anything like that. So maybe that's all we need. Very, very subtle and elegant. As long as it creates some contrast, we should be fine. Okay, I'm going to work on this. You see this maybe not dark enough. You can still work on that. You can make a little greener color. You can add this time a little transparent green to bring the saturation back a little bit. Okay, so just. But you can wet it if it's not, it's dry enough or dry. So you kind of wet it and then we do this. You can just draw the shape again with water. A little bit green. Just glaze it a little bit. I already have the dark edge, which I created with the first attempt. That's good. I just need to fill in the blank, the kind of paled center with something. Maybe not every leaf. That's okay. You can just do a overlapping stroke. Maybe. I missed this one, I think, earlier. Okay, so it's kind of artificial. Right now, I don't really like that, but what else I can do? Okay, if you missed it, maybe. Okay, just leave it. You don't have to do exactly the same as the master copy. Just and see, this is the young sprouts in the spring. They sprout out. I will do that later. Let me do the woody stems. The woody stems start from ink and amber, or kind of brownish. You can use ink and vermilion and some yellow or rouge. Just make a nice brown gray. Okay, as a base. Okay, you can use some indigo if it's too red. Just make it. Oops, that's too much. Okay, that's kind of purplish. Purplish. Let me add some more. Okay, now that's about it. Okay, so this is the detail. Let me show you the stroke. It's like the character Jie, you know, the 4 strokes for any branches in landscape painting. We have this 4 directions. Oh, I'm 10 minutes past the time. I lost track with the time. And anyway, if you need to go, we're recording it. So you will see the recording. Sorry about the. Okay.
Thank you, Henry. I do have to leave, but this has been amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, just do a medium gray stroke to create the shape, and then we'll do either dark or light charge. You can have some dry stroke at the end to blot it to get dry, but I think it's a good idea not to blot too much, because otherwise you'll lose the calligraphy. Okay, I'll use a little more ink or maybe some indigo for this one. This one is darker but not smaller because it's a guest. So it's the baby. So keep it narrower, be good. And see the bone, like the stop and the pulse at the turning point. Yeah, just like calligraphy. See, this is like calligraphy, exactly. Okay, and keep it short, powerful, and you can add this branches. All right, then here is the branch, the 4, the 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, the upside down J. Okay, now we just add the charge. Before it gets dry, you need to add brown or the greens. We can add green on the tender leaves, tender stem, like the green water with the, before it gets dry. So you need to add this to create the water effect. You need to, water stain effect, you need to add water, clean water. Drive it to the side. So it's running to the side, and just add some green. It takes time. It will take 20 minutes to see that. Yeah. So I think for this, we need to charge with let's do have amber. I just use rouge and I mean not rouge and vermilion. I try to make an amber with ink or something, some dirty color here. So this is a little warmer here, right? So you just add that, and then some more dark here. There's a bark and then knob holes or something black that will be added after it dries. Okay, and you have to add color to this one quickly before it gets too dry. So we add that. We add amber to the ink. So I just keep like dotting, and you can add a little green also. Okay. And just, if it's too dry, just add some water, not all the way, but in between dots maybe. So that creates some flow, yeah. Oh, you can also dot, believe it or not, just black. You can dot, you can add black ink, and then you can just add water to let it form kind of natural tarashikomi effect on tree barks. That's very common in Japan. They call it tarashikomi. That's you can drip dark. So on the medium base, you can drip dark or light. Light is mineral color. See, I tried and use a lot of accumulated water, so that create a kind of water marbling effect. Yeah. Okay. But don't blot. If you blot, everything will be gone, right? So I'm going to dot finally the tender spots with a yellow, green, yellow, mostly just the yellow, not much green. Yellow and then vermilion and some rouge or carmine on the tip. Yellow, vermilion, and the carmine. And just dot this. So this is very calligraphic by itself. See how calligraphic it is? And some large, some small. That medium, large, and small in a group, right? This is a group. And some you may consider this is a medium, this is a large group, and then the middle one. Okay, and then it gets lighter on the bottom and small. Yeah, just one big, one small. Okay, then we don't use blotting. We just dot. This very spontaneous, almost like 写意. So you can do 写意 on this paper, on this sized paper. Not, you don't have to do gombi. This is a gombi paper, right? Everybody knows that. It's a gombi painting paper, sized paper. But this one doesn't have the shiny mica, the seashell mica. So it's a binary. You can use it for either 写意 and or gombi, or any other, anything in between. This is a boneless style, something in between the 写意 and the gombi. So you can always plot if it's not what you want. You can just plot it away and then redo it. Charge it. Yeah. Okay. I will leave out the bee, or actually it's a mouse. Do you like that mouse? It's a I don't know if your cultural background accepts mouse as a nice bug, mouse. Do you want to see how to paint the mouse? The bug on the
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, okay. Let me enlarge it. That's a nice mouse. Okay. We can start from dark to light usually. Yeah. You can even draw the lines first. But let me do the medium color. So we use the same color as the trunk, maybe just the brownish color, whatever you got on the palette. You should get a nice brown. Okay, and I just paint the wings with a little more, a little bit ink, or maybe a little indigo to mute it. So I put it in the middle so you can see it. It's a 写意 bug. It's not really detailed. You see, when I enlarge, there's nothing there. But when I zoom out, it's the head with the eye on the side. So there's a triangular shape. And you can charge it later if it's not dark enough. Okay, then the two wings, I always do elements. I find the balanced side, the other side immediately, so that ink is match. Okay, then the middle of the body. Yeah, this tail kind of fanned tail. Yeah, we use different stroke. That's about it for the main body and the wings. And then the inner wings, the folded wings under it is usually a little orange, yellow kind of color. So we use a little orange color, a little yellow, and a little tender. Basically, it's much tender. yeah, a brown, and just fill in the space between, and use the white, the yellow under on the base. So I push the brush, I got a gradation. So the orange is in the tip insert. So I just like that. Press the brush down like that. It bent. This is the good brush. It's called a BHA Rens Niner. REN is the name of the artist who invented this brush. It's a combination brush of stiff on the outside and soft inside. Yeah. We sold out the first edition. This is the second edition. I haven't taken a picture yet. I'm going to take a picture after this class. So when you order, you'll get the exactly same brush. It's a good brush to do flower and birds. Very flexible. You can see it's very pointed. You can do details. Okay. I used a little dark ink to draw this pattern on the back. It's horizontal, but I do this spine first, not in the center, near the top, and then some horizontal, wet into wet, so it will bleed a little bit. And I draw this eye, and then a little sharp, what do you call this, mouse or needle, kind of. And then antenna is short, not like the butterfly we did earlier. The mouse has a shorter, but maybe thicker antennas. And then a suggestion of legs. Just use ink. Diluted this with water is too dry here. And then 2 pairs of that. Actually, it bends like that. So it should go inside, outside ink, maybe just like that. Yeah, that's a good stroke. And then some thin ones, like behind below the wings, the thin legs, and they're crossing, a little bit crossing, like that. So that's my needle is kind of dull. Okay, now the patterns on the wing. You can use some vermilion, a little bit of color maybe with ink. Oops, that's too red. Just ink. Okay, so just like a little round curves and some verticals. Concentrate on the whole, so some dense, some sparse, like a dense here near the shoulder, and get sparse, kind of radiate from there, disperse from there, concentrate, disperse. That's the word, abstraction word we worry about. So that's the outer wings. And the inner wings, you need to use pure color. That's what I got confused. We need to use umber, basically, or vermilion with some muted color. You can use indigo and umber to get that gray, or indigo with the vermilion to get this color. So it's not a ink, it's maybe kind of gray, different from the ink. Let's try this. Okay, just draw some lines, radiate from the, oops, it's kind of too dry. And some fanned kind of curves. I can't get that line done. Maybe you need to use a detailed brush. We have the little brushes set of 4 tiny little brush. Maybe this is the time to use that kind of thing. Anyway, I just keep using my tools. I use the basic brush just to add the wings, to enhance the wings. I mean the tails. And okay, I need to separate the body from the inner wing because they tend to blend together. That's kind of, I lose the value contrast there. So I need to bring back the body a little bit. So put a little line, I mean the shade there maybe, and enhance the head a little bit. Okay, that's a, don't mess too much. Just suggest it. Yeah. Okay. What else I have? We almost got it, right? You could change, some color on all the. Let me see. I don't see. Yeah, there's some dark, maybe a little bit dark accent to anchor it because it has a little stem or something like to anchor it. So you need to put a little stem on these sprouts, and then you need to put some dark. See this little dot, little things representing the bark. Here's one, but you don't have to do that. If you already got enough, something like that, some kind of bark, some mustards, we call it. If it's too, whoops, that looks like a bug. Anyway, let me zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. I just put a dot on this side. Well, that's okay. I live with that. Just put some dots on the trunk. If it's too dark, I can blot it away. Oops, it's too much. It's very easy to lift on this paper, right? Maybe just put some green in it. So you would the light in it. Some accent, yeah. To encode. Okay, that's it. You don't have to, put. It looks like you should maintain the attitude of careless, not careful, not careful style, but careless. Boneless is Gongbi also translated as a careful style, and this is a careless Gongbi. Boneless Gongbi. Okay, that's about it. And there's a poem on the side. It says, I summarize it. There are more than these lines on the. I cannot read it. But basically, it says the spring wind blows in the air, and the flowers are peony in full bloom, something like that. Oh, I need to put the statement, the answers, right? Yeah, that's the word I just learned. Pollens. Okay, you just use the white and the yellow and dot that. Move that there. That's the last touch I will do. See, this is also in a group of three, maybe, they form a triangular shape, radiate from the center. I just take advantage of that white to make that into the yellow. I got some white spots there. I just put it in that. So just a little suggestion would be fine. Okay, a little bit there. Don't have to be exactly the same as the original, but if you follow this step, you get happy accident of your own. So don't copy the accident and just copy the stroke, copy the procedure. I think that's how it works. And let's see, this part could be a little bit anchored. It's dark, dark something. Just like warm, I think. Yeah. See, oh, I touched it with my bad habit. I think the last time the one student suggested me to do this, I forgot that. So you can use to prevent stain with your hand. You may use a socket or something like a sleeve from this is from Victoria's sweatshirt. Yeah, just cut a hole. You make a nice glove to prevent it from sweater. You know, see, I touched this part. It destroyed my stroke. Let me see what I can do. This is very easy to happen, and most problem could be prevented with this. I try not to put your hand on wet strokes. That's a lesson here. I consider that's a happy accident. Okay. Look like it's something. I won't write the whole thing. The last two sentences says, where is that? Oh, here. Yeah, the word you just learned in calligraphy, the previous class is su, right? Su means plan. Plan. Okay. It says, don't laugh at me with the plain colors, lack of rouge and powder. You know, the qi, 粉气 means powdering qi, appearance of rouge and the powder. 也叫软净铁心肠. But this painting can soften, yet it can soften the hard iron man or guy, you know. So it's a soft, but it can soften the hardest heart made by iron, 铁心肠. You understand the meaning? Although this is a soft painting, it has the power of iron, heart. So let's just write these two lines. And also, I think the first two lines, 春风满面好荣光. So let me copy this. 春风 spring wind, 满, and just write this in cursive style. 风 spring wind, breeze, fall in the face of a flower. Good means 好 means beautiful. 容 means face or appearance. 容光 appearance. 15盈盈出画堂. 15 means the full, like a full moon on the 15th of each month, you know, of the month. it's full bloom, in full bloom. The flower is like the moon in full bloom. Two out of the painting room, painting hall. Okay, and I just omitted whatever in the middle. It has some historical historical stories about the famous artist who did the Peony. It's followed from the Luoyang, the capital of Tang Dynasty, East capital. Anyway, so I'm going to omit those historical stories and just write the 效我素咸脂粉气。素 is plant, you just learned. Su 咸 means lack. 脂粉气 脂 means rouge. 粉 means powder. 气 means breath or smell. Smell maybe. 野教 yet. 教 means I don't know how to translate this. To make something, to make iron hard, soft. 软 means to soften. 软净 thoroughly means okay, anyway. 铁 心 tongue, heart, stomach means yeah. Okay, now I say this is the artist's signature Yewu, and there's a year, and the month is also October, yeah, in the winter. But that's the lunar calendar, so it's a little later than ours, but maybe 1 month later, actually. Okay, I'm going to write. This is a year of rat. He painted in the year of the sheep or the goat, and if we check the chart, we will know which exactly the year is. The Xingwei. So this is how he writes the year. This is to Xingwei is the year of the goat, and I would write 秋. I think 8月, right? Just 秋月 will be fine. Means autumn months. And 仿 means mimic. Li, oops, I almost signed my name. It's all about the same. Yewu. Okay. 仿 Yewu. 仿 Yewu means mimic. Yewu. And I have to sign here. Yeah, I'm just on another side. You can see my last name similar. Same, right? Try to vary a little bit. Okay. And the signature, seal. Okay. This is a little hard because the board is hard, not padded. I got it. Yeah, it's wood based. You have to press hard. Okay, now do I need another one? No, I don't think we have room for that. I can just cut it out like this. I leave a little room for mounting. So you see the line, that border line, it's the actual size. So I don't worry about just cut inside the paper will be fine. Just leave like a ½ inch around the border will be fine. Okay. Oh, do you see that the tint paper effect? I'm not sure if it compare with the white paper, you can see there's some tone, but not to the extent like the yellow color of the original. You can do that, but I think we have a appearance of a new painting. But after you can see, yeah, I can see that yellow tone from here. I'm not sure if it will not show in the computer. Maybe if I put it side by side with a white paper, that's white, that's toned paper. Yeah, so kind of cream color, right? So that's how it works. So I really do not need much dark in this flower to create that kind of contrast. So you feel the color, but not, I think I will use just a little bit color overall. So that little box of 12 color will last for a year, I guess, if you just use this much in your painting. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Sorry about the delay. We'll see you next week. I don't have the class scheduled yet, but if you're interested in this series, let me know and I will schedule another one early next month. Don't forget to vote. Okay. See you in the next reign of the presidency, maybe. I mean, until we know the result. Is that yeah? Probably 2 weeks from now, right? We'll meet again on this. But I have another landscape class coming every Thursday. Okay. Thanks for staying late.